exclamation points. KU dominating Houston. Rock chalk chant starting up with 8.7 seconds to go. Houston will get it into Flemings. Hawks leading by 15. Flemings a step back three, misses with a brick. Stick back is good, but it won't matter. You can rock. Chalk it up. The Jayhawks win a third top 5 takedown this year in the fall.
Well, I knew he'd play hard, and Cincinnati played great against us. We weren't very good, but they played great against us the other night, and we got what we deserved. But, guys responded, and we're one of those teams, Scott, that our ceiling is high, but also we can play to any level. So we got to tighten up a lot of stuff and become more consistent. But, if Trey and Bryson and Melvin can play like that, and we get DP back there consistently, and then, I think we got as good a defensive player in America in Flo. How can a guy score, 4 points or whatever it is and totally dominate a game? So I'm really proud of our guys. We gave great effort tonight.
Right into the microphone.
Timing is everything.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John here. 5-year-old Nate Bukaty and Jake Gutierrez on this Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Today on the show, we will talk with Damon Bethea, former Michigan State star, who is a regular guest on the show when we get into late February and March Madness. College basketball insider who will talk hoops with us at 7:30. We're going to get a chance to have our first conversation of the season with Annie Rogers from MLB.com, who, of course, is in Arizona covering the Royal Spring Training. Annie will join us at 8:30, and Greg Gurley will be on the show at 9:05 to talk about the big win by Kansas over Houston last night, just a couple of days after they were blown out by Cincinnati. They returned the favor to Houston, and so try to figure that one out, man. They had Cincinnati and Houston at home over the course of 3 days. And if somebody would have told you, yeah, they're going to win one comfortably and then lose one by double digits, I'm guessing you would have picked it to beat Cincinnati and lost to Houston, but it was the exact opposite. As they, especially in the second half, they dominated Houston, and now Houston is reeling. They have lost 3 in a row. And so that's the first time I think that's happened since 2017 for Houston. And now, if you're Arizona, that went perfectly because that gives them a 2-game cushion over all 4 teams that are in second place right now. Houston, Kansas, Iowa State, and Texas Tech all have 4 losses. Iowa State and Texas Tech, they only have 10 wins, while Houston and Kansas have 11. But if you're Arizona, the ball's in your court. You got everything ahead of you. Even though you have to play Kansas again, you play them in Arizona, and even if you lose that, you're still in first place. They have to slip up someplace else for Kansas to have a chance. Now, remember, if Kansas beats them, they would have the season sweep. But does Arizona have 2 losses left on their schedule? Let's say one of them is to Kansas. So the 4 games they have left tonight at Baylor. You got to hope that Baylor somehow plays out of their minds and has the game of the season, and they can somehow do something special in Waco. I wouldn't bet on it. They're 4-10 in the conference, and they're not a very good basketball team. And then Arizona will have back-to-back home games that'll basically tell the tale of whether or not they'll win the Big 12. Home against Kansas, home against Iowa State. Look, those are 2 really tough games, but they're both at Arizona. And then they finish off the year at Colorado. So the 2 road games are against 2 teams they should be able to handle, and we just saw them go to Houston to win. So you know that they can play well on the road. And even though they lost at Kansas, they played fairly well on the road. So that it would take them losing probably 2 home games to Kansas and Iowa State. Is that possible? Sure, anything's possible. I don't know. I didn't think it was possible for Kansas to lose to Cincinnati the way they did. So anything's possible. But I wouldn't bet on it. Arizona, even though they're playing Kansas next, they were rooting for, well, they had to be rooting for Kansas last night because, like I said, that gives them a 2-game advantage over Houston. Houston was only a game back of Arizona. And so now Arizona sits 12-2 tonight in the Big 12. Not great games, but like I said, if you're Arizona, you have to take care of business on the road against Baylor. That game's at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Arizona's favored by 8.5. If you're Iowa State, same thing. Although, same thing. At Utah, if they want to keep pace and stay part of this race, they got to win at Utah. They're favored by 12.5. Texas Tech, they're another one of the teams chasing Arizona. They're at home against Cincinnati. We'll see if Cincinnati can back up the performance they had on Saturday and go and win at Texas Tech. Now, that's a tricky game because Texas Tech is still learning to live without their star Toppin, and Cincinnati now has played their way into at least they're a bubble team, and they're 7-7 in the Big 12. If they can somehow come out of the conference with 500 or even a winning record, and now they got a marquee win. You had a couple of them. They beat Iowa State, didn't they? Iowa State and Kansas. They might have played their way into an NCAA tournament berth. So that'll be a tough game for Texas Tech. But last night, Kansas able to, and their Big 12 tournament or Big 12 championship hopes would have been dead last night if they lost to Houston, but they didn't. Darren Peterson played, although there's some video out there that looks like he may have wanted to come out, and Bill Self didn't want him to, and told him to play, and he played. So, welcome back, Jake.
It's good to be back. It's good way to return. Nice Kansas victory. Talk about on my return.
You don't want to talk about what happened on Saturday at all?
Well, I didn't
get that off your chest.
No, I didn't see any of it.
Where were you?
I was
what part of the country?
I was in Buena Vista, Colorado, which is about 2 hours straight west of Colorado Springs. Up in the mountains.
That's kind of where you went for your
exactly
retreat, right?
That's exactly where I went. So
same cabin, everything?
No. So I was in a Christian. It's a Christian officers camp that I go up there with. They host like wounded warriors and veterans during the summertime and their families, and then in the off season, they rent it out to a bunch of men trying to be better men.
So no sports at all?
You know what?
Did you guys watch the gold medal game?
We did.
Good for you.
There are no TVs there, but we had a projector screen, and 6 a.m. in the morning, someone pulled out their laptop, and we hooked up the projector to the laptop.
I was wondering if you're going to watch that,
right? It was really cool actually to be around that many Americans,
Right.
Right, and watching that,
Not that many men. That's what
yeah,
That's
that
what you
many
want to say.
American men.
Right.
80 men watching the U.S. hockey
many?
team. Huh?
That many?
There's 80 of us, yeah. 85 to be exact, but yeah.
I was wondering if you watched that.
Yeah, we did. But there are no TVs anywhere in the facilities, in our cabins and in our mess hall. But there was a projector screen in our meeting room that we have a lectern and people talk and it's a gathering. So they had a big projector screen and we dropped that down and hooked up a laptop to it and it was awesome.
I bet that was a fun atmosphere.
Oh, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was super fun. And a lot of the guys are from Colorado Springs and the Colorado area, so they're big. I mean, the Avalanche are huge out there.
Colorado College is a massive hockey school.
They won like 4 straight national championships.
Yeah.
So
In Colorado Springs.
Yep, exactly. Good
I went
knowledge.
and watched them practice there when I was in spring break one time.
Yeah.
I had a buddy. Yeah, I had a buddy who was at Air
It's
Force.
a D2 school.
Yeah, but they're like
They're
big
the
time,
best.
right?
Yeah, they're like the
They
best.
play D1 hockey though, right? Don't
Yeah, they play against other D1
Yeah.
schools, but they've won I think they probably about 5 or 6 years ago they won 4 straight national championships at D2 level. But yeah, so they're
Big hockey community.
Yeah, a lot of hockey fans. So that they made sure that game was on. But that was awesome. That was awesome.
Man, everyone I've talked to's watched that.
Yeah.
They got up and watched it. That was a big deal. Either that or people are lying now and like, oh yeah, I watched it. I got up.
Yeah. Maybe they got it on by the time overtime.
Sure,
rolled
I
around.
did.
It was great. Except it worked out in America's favor, but I thought it was stupid to go to 3-on-3 in overtime. But whatever.
Canada didn't like that.
I didn't like it either. But hey, it worked out for America, so whatever.
I thought it was just right.
Yeah. I just I don't know. You change the game and
It's like putting a guy at second base, right?
yeah.
And
very much.
they couldn't score 5-on-3 anyway, so what's the matter?
That's right. That goalie was awesome.
Man.
That guy was awesome.
Hellebuck was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
So I was flying home, and so I was watching it. I saw the USA first goal. Then I got on my plane, and the internet sucked on my plane, so I couldn't watch it. I kept trying to, and I couldn't. And then when we landed, it was right as it was going to overtime. So I watched overtime while we were taxiing from the runway to the gate, and I saw the goal. So I missed everything in between. I missed the whole amazing performance by the goalkeeper, all that stuff. And I had a bunch of text messages from friends and everything. But I did see the 2 goals, but that was it. So yeah, I kind of missed out. But I mean, I saw the end, which was pretty cool. There were a lot of people in the airport that were. I mean, I saw a handful of people that were like wearing USA hockey jerseys in the airport when I landed in Kansas City. That was kind of cool.
It was awesome.
Jack Hughes is a stud.
I saw that interview with him after the game.
Dude, he
Man.
got whacked,
Man.
Whacked in the face. Wow.
Deebs and I played a bunch of interviews yesterday on the show. We played a couple
Yeah.
of.
Did you play the one with Mike Tirico?
Oh yeah,
That's great.
oh yeah. And Mike Tirico's closing comments, which were awesome,
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
and how this how this generation or this group of players were inspired. Now they're going to inspire the next group that comes along. And honestly, watching all that, I thought about you guys, and I thought, this is what Nate wishes would happen with soccer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because how magical that was, right?
100%.
Like that's
Yeah.
what it would be like, right? It would be like that if the United States ever won the World Cup.
Oh man, I
It'd
can't
be that
even
kind of
imagine.
Would it be like? It would be similar?
I think so. I think it'd be
Bigger,
just because
harder.
harder. Like the U.S.
I
is
know,
so
but
much
the
of an
reaction,
underdog
though.
in soccer.
Oh,
Yeah,
the reaction would be very similar.
and like getting people on board with a sport you love that they don't normally care about. And uniting people. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the soccer teams don't always unite people. It seems like when they have the opportunity.
Well, they're.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they haven't. I mean this group of players has not. They haven't seemed like they've been all on the same page or rowing in the same direction or
There
all
you
that
go.
stuff. Then
That's right.
This hockey team seemed like very unified.
When they kept talking about the brotherhood and everything else.
Yeah.
That means something. The chemistry.
Yeah, whereas they talked about the generations before them and how much they cared about the whole hockey community. Like when you heard Jack Hughes talking about it. Whereas like in American soccer, you got the older players talking about how spoiled the younger
they
players
hate the younger players.
They hate each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff, man. Super patriotic. It was awesome. I loved it.
And it's kind of going back to what you were saying about Kansas. How do you make sense of a team that could get their butts kicked by Cincinnati and then turn around and beat Houston? Man, mentality and effort and collective buy-in makes such a huge difference in a sporting event. Yeah, you got to have talent. There's an old phrase that a coach I knew used to say, hey, before you can outplay them, you got to outwork them.
Was there ever a point last night where you thought, man, they look better with Peterson off the floor?
I absolutely thought that.
Okay.
I absolutely thought that.
You're a truth teller.
No, I mean, it's weird. But yeah,
because I thought it, and then I went to social media, and other people were saying it.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you they're better without him, but it seems like the ball moves better at times.
They move, it looks like they move off the ball better. They cut and screen better. I mean, and one of those big runs, they went on. He wasn't on the floor.
That's what I mean, and that goes into what you're saying. Of course, it's always wonderful to have the most talent, but the most talent doesn't always win. Sometimes it's, chemistry, teamwork, effort, and how you play together as a team.
Yeah, execution.
Right.
It's easier to execute when everybody's pulling in the same direction.
I mean, I'd said after they won the Arizona game, and here Jeff Chadilla was in, and I said, well, okay, you proved tonight they don't need him. And I think Jeff kind of laughed at me and said, well, yeah, they do. And I think most people feel that way, and maybe in March they will. But I think even Fran said during the broadcast last night that offensively their numbers are no better offensively when Peterson's in as a team. His numbers are great, but the team's like efficiency and all that, it's not better when he plays.
But there is I mean, look, yes, I absolutely thought that last night. But the reality is when you have somebody of that talent, the team, the opponent has to defend. Like there's an outside factor that you have to know where that guy is.
They double team him every time.
Right, and so
they did the same thing Iowa State did. Every time there was a ball screen or anything, they double teamed him.
Right, and that is a intangible that you can't. That there's no stat for that, So, and they are going to need him, but it is.
There's also no stat for the way they, It seems like everyone
when they're
just plays a little bit harder and
it looks smoother.
It just looks
a little
different.
more aggressive, a little more assertive.
And look, you want them on the floor. I'm not saying that. It's just it's interesting.
This whole season's been fascinating,
It's
man.
It's been odd, man.
Because
it's been odd.
He's had moments like obviously the Texas Tech game where he doesn't hit those two shots, they don't win that game. But they beat Arizona without him at all. The big comeback game was TCU, right?
He had to make those 3 free throws.
And then he doesn't play in overtime and they win the game. Like they won it without him. It has been a fascinating season for sure. But yeah, like I know Bill Self, I listened to you guys playing the comments from him about whether or not they were overlooking Texas Tech or whatever, or Cincinnati.
After one of his players basically admitted that.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. But I think, in a weird way, Self kind of said the same thing. He's like, you're not going to play at a 10 every single game, right? Like, that's just human nature. We see with the Chiefs sometimes, like, they play some of their worst games against their worst opponents.
But especially with that scheduling, when you have a home game against an inferior opponent on a Saturday and have to turn around and have this huge game on Monday. On Friday, it's so close,
Yeah.
Like in football, it's much different. It's a full week.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there's a bye week in there. Here, we got this game Saturday. We got to take care of business and not look past them. But we got to be ready to go Monday for this big game. And I mean, why wouldn't some players get caught looking ahead? It's just human nature.
Or if even if their energy just drops a little bit, they're not as fired up, for a day game, than playing on prime time
You see it so often. I mean, you really
do you think the energy in the building was the same? Like, do you think the students brought the same level of energy on Saturday that they brought last night?
Well, I mean,
of course not.
no.
Like, that's human nature. And it doesn't make, like, they should bring it 110% every single game. Of course, but
I mean,
that's just
it
not the
happened,
way
it
it
happened
works,
with Iowa
man.
State when
can't.
when they lost to TCU right before they played Kansas, and then they just laid one on KU in Ames, So I think it's you see it throughout this league.
Well, and to go back to it, though, that's why Arizona has the ball in their court.
Yep.
Both. By the way, I like when you did that because I didn't know if you were doing that on purpose because both of their tough games are in their court.
Right.
They're
That's exactly
home
right.
games
Well,
for them. But
You'll never know.
That's why you're the guy.
And they have a 2-game lead, and you would
Because they
yeah.
didn't slip up against anybody.
Right.
They're
Because
two losses. Yeah.
They haven't overlooked that, and and that's why they're in first.
But and we talked about that when who was it that lost? Somebody lost the game last week, and we were sitting here talking. Was it Texas Tech or whoever? That's what you got to avoid if you want to have a chance to beat Arizona. You can't slip up, and KU slipped up.
I didn't think Arizona would win at Houston on Saturday. That was the big surprise, and that could very well end up being the difference maker that wins them the conference.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have Koa Pete, and they still went to Houston and won. Now we're finding out Houston's got some flaws. They're struggling right now, but still, it's very difficult to win on the road in that type of environment at Houston, and they still did it, and they weren't 100%. So,
But the thing for KU is, I would like for them to win the league. I think most KU fans and Self talked about it with Van Pelt last night. It's more about can they get closer to their ceiling down the stretch here and be a dangerous team in the tournament. And, Self said that they showed a little bit closer to what their ceiling is last night, and they still have a ways to go, he feels. He feels like there's still room for them to take that step. Maybe it's that whole part of, can they get to the point where when Peterson's on the floor, everybody plays the way that they do when he's not?
if they go on a run in the tournament, no one will care if they won the league or not.
Right. And
we've had that debate over the years, but that's what college basketball is. Your season, and look, I'm not taking away anything from any conference champ, regular season conference champ, or even if you win the tournament, the conference tournament, that's awesome. But your season is defined by what happens in March. Like if you go out, if you win the conference and you have a great regular season, and you're a 3 seed and you lose to the 14 seed, nobody talks about anything else. You guys have experienced it. You know that. That's what the season is. And right or wrong, that's how it's defined. But it works the other way. If they finish second or third in the conference, but then they go to the Final Four, no one's going to talk about what happened in the regular season. How are you going to talk about as the team went to the Final Four?
yeah, it just becomes context. It's just like, hey, remember that Final Four team? Remember earlier in the year? You might remember it a little bit. But yeah, and I think what's encouraging about some of these games is you get the sense, you get to see what KU can be. And by the way, Flory Badunga scored 4 points in the game and might have been the best player on the floor last night. That guy, he's guarding guards, he's guarding centers, he's getting rebounds. That guy is an incredible defensive player. And
this is what now I'm caught in the middle of Jake and Jeff Judea texting back and forth whenever Kansas wins or loses. It's so great. Okay, hey, I know they lost. I know they won. Guys, thanks for reminding me. Like after Saturday, Jeff declared victory.
Right.
Last night, Jake's back declaring victory. He goes back and forth. And my whole point that started the whole thing was I just said that when Kansas plays right, they're a Final Four caliber team. Jeff didn't like that, and then it went from there. But they are.
yeah,
They are. You heard what Bill Self said. I mean, they got to fix some things. Sometimes they could play down to their opponent. That's dangerous in the NCAA tournament. That's really dangerous. But there's such a wide range of outcome for this team. And you could focus on, boy, they could lose anyone. Yeah, but they could beat anybody.
right.
Not every team can say that. Not every team had their A game doesn't get them to the Final Four. KU's does. And it would be, just imagine if they played their A game with Peterson on the floor and it was all rolling and he wasn't coming out of the game, because that's what everyone's hoping for, right? That's the unicorn you want in March.
Well, at Arizona this weekend will be the maybe the biggest opportunity of all to show what their ceiling can really be.
But man, and look, you can't change anything. But just imagine if they didn't slip up to Cincinnati.
Right.
And then they'd be playing to tie them. The game will still be big, but how big would that game be if they were a game back?
Yeah.
Gigantic.
Well, as Doris said, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But it'll still be big. And I do
It'll still be big, but it's just,
Yeah, I think one of the things that they need to figure out with Peterson on the floor, and he needs to figure out too, is that he doesn't need to score. Because they did the same, like they double teamed him every time they got the opportunity last night. And it was like he felt like he still needed to do something. And I think it's like, hey man, this is where you get to show that you can facilitate everybody else when you get double teamed. Somebody's open. And if they can start to figure that out a little bit and he doesn't feel the pressure.
Yeah, and last night was Trey White's night.
Yeah.
There's other guys who can step up.
Yeah.
Especially when there's so much focus, to Jake's point, when he's on the floor, they have to focus on him.
Yeah, and it's like, hey man, if you only get 10 shots up in the game, but your teammates are getting good looks, you still had a great game, and you don't have to prove that you can score in a situation like that all the time. Let the points kind of come your way. I think he's still just kind of figuring that balance out a little bit.
Yeah. It would also help if Houston shot 3-pointers without blindfolds on. That would help. And I haven't watched as much Houston as everyone else. It just seems like sometimes that's what gets them. I know this team is better offensively and not as good defensively as the Houston teams we've seen the past couple of years. But boy, they couldn't shoot last night.
And some of that was missing some open shots. Some of that was some really good defense.
Oh, yeah.
KU's 3-point field goal, that's one of the reasons I think KU has a chance too, is that their 3-point field goal defense is good this year.
That'll do it.
And that's important in today's game for sure.
5 for 24 from 3 last night for Houston. Woo. But Kansas gets the win, 69-56 over Houston. Back after this, you know what? 69 on the Cougars, Jake. You love it like that. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What I coulda, shoulda, woulda, who knows?
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll play some of the Bill Self post-game press conference at 7. Darren Peterson was also on the mic after the game. And a couple of comments from Kelvin Sampson. As Kansas hands Houston their third loss in a row. And now Kansas gets ready for their showdown against Arizona coming up on Saturday. We've also got a bunch of Royal sound that I've sent Jake to get ready. Some Vinny Pasquantino on MLB Network, Bobby Witt Jr. on MLB Network, and I'll be looking forward to hearing. We'll play some of that maybe in the next segment. I did send you, Jake, one clip of Darren Peterson, who, if you want to play that, that's, I don't know, 15 seconds or so, that he says he doesn't really pay attention to outside noise anymore because there's been a lot of it. And some people have suggested, just have him go to the podium and answer questions so people can quit speculating. And he doesn't have to, he could say whatever he wants, but I always think it's better to hear from the person instead of speculating. So he was there last night with a couple of other players. Give me a thumbs up when you got that clip and we can play. Here's Darren Peterson when he was asked about everything that's being said around him.
Week. What was that the last 5-6 days been like for you personally?
Kind of normal this year. Somebody's had something to say probably after every game this year, so I don't really pay attention to it anymore.
Well, that's probably the right approach.
Yeah.
It's if you're on any kind of social media the past week, I think once the NFL got done, and all of a sudden the Stephen A. Smiths of the world and people like that
he got in on it.
Had time. They all. Once everybody got done having to go at K-State for the Jerome Tang thing, they shifted their attention to the Darren Peterson thing, and everybody's got their...
Kansas has been the college basketball capital of Stephen A. Smith and ESPN for the past couple of weeks,
And
when Stephen A. gets on it, it's a big story.
they all have their opinions, that's for sure. And we've said this all along, nobody really knows, nobody has all the facts, nobody knows exactly what's going on. So you're trying to piece things together and you make assumptions and you have opinions. Everybody's got thoughts.
Yeah. Maybe that's why, they're trying to protect him, but maybe that's why you sent him to the podium,
Yeah.
And you're talking about college preparing you for your profession. Maybe that helps prepare him for what he's going to face in the NBA because they won't protect him as much. They'll have to talk to people. I guess, he could always just walk out of the locker room. We've seen Chiefs players do that. So maybe you don't have to talk.
Yeah, I don't know how strict the NBA policy is on that stuff, but it seems like those guys are made available after games,
right?
Podium or whatever.
Here's Kelvin Sampson after the game talking about Kansas. This is kind of a funny comment, and then you'll hear Darren Peterson when he was told what Kelvin Sampson said. You hear Darren Peterson's reaction as well. Jake, play that.
Kansas is one of those teams that you just never know, but they're pretty good. So are we. We're pretty good too. Maybe not tonight, but we're pretty good.
What do you mean by Kansas? You never know what that means.
That's what Houston's coach said. He said Kansas, you just never know.
Dang. I like that.
That was Darren Peterson saying, "Dang, I don't like that." But it's
well.
What would the last 3 days tell you? You never know.
You might not like it, but that's what you are.
They got beat by double digits at home to Cincinnati, and then they win by double digits at home against Houston. You never know.
Yeah,
that's what we talked about in the first segment. That's absolutely right.
Yeah,
and Kevin Samuels right. They're pretty good. We're pretty good too. We weren't tonight, but now if you think Houston sucks, no, they're going through a bad stretch right now. They've lost 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. They're not as good as they've been the past couple of years, but that's still a good basketball team.
Right. Yeah, that if you don't like it,
but you never know.
It's kind of like what Bill Self said about if you don't like what people are saying that you can't finish games, there's one way to get them to stop saying that.
Well, I can tell you something I know before we break. Jake, Deebs and I gave away 2 4-packs of tickets to the Sports Radio 810 premiere Epic Elvis Presley in Concert, which will be taking place on Thursday night at B&B Theaters, and I'm going to be there. So if you are a fan of the show, listener of the show, and if you're a fan of Elvis, I would encourage you to come and hang out and watch this awesome, it's concert film / documentary / everything. Now, this doesn't count, but between now and 10 o'clock, when Jake plays an Elvis song, call 913-381-810, and caller 8 will be feeling great because they'll have a 4-pack of tickets to go see Epic Elvis Presley in concert on the big screen with me on Thursday night at B&B Theaters in Overland Park. Now, if you give it's a 4-pack, but if it's good, you're only going to use 2, tell Jake. Say, you know what, I just want 2. All right? But we got 4 for you, and all you got to do is give your name and contact info, and then your name will be on the list, on the VIP list, on Thursday night. So you don't have to come out here and pick anything up. You just show up at the theater, but we got to get your name and phone number, and we will take care of you.
And so you're supposed to call right now because this is a Elvis song?
Nope.
Have you watched the first episode of Paradise yet?
No.
Okay.
Waiting patiently.
All right.
Elvis
is relevant.
Okay.
That's all.
I'm wrapped up in Night Agent because the first 2 episodes of Night Agent, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm wrapped up in Cross.
I'm behind in Cross.
Yeah, we're.
I saw the first Night Agent and I saw the first Paradise.
Yeah, man.
But
I haven't seen Paradise. I haven't seen the first episode of Paradise.
I'm asking you right now.
No, I love that show.
There's a Elvis tie-in.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, Night Agent's back, dude. Did you see the season finale of Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, it's already over.
I know it's.
But they're already season 2, and they're gonna have season 3.
It's already post-production. It's literally 1 year from now they're gonna start it back up. It's already done.
That was so much fun to watch.
Then I saw the preview for House of the Dragon. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. We're back. Yeah. Did you get the family tree and all this information I've been sending you?
I did.
Does it help you to visualize it, like who's who and these damn Targaryens?
Well, I have a pretty good idea, but that's it's one of the better visuals I've seen.
Thank you. All right, so if you want to go, and we're going to have a blast. I want it to be a concert-like atmosphere, have fun, sing, dance. We need some more positivity and fun in this life, in this world, so let's do it on Thursday night. Both of you are cordially invited if you'd like to come out on Thursday. I know, Jake, you went to see the Elvis movie with me a couple of years ago. Nate resists all invitations to do anything like this, but I've said if you want to understand why people like me love Elvis or huge Elvis fans, this movie explains it better than my words ever could.
All right. What time again? What time are we talking here?
We'll start at 7:45.
Okay.
I get up at 7:15. I'm going to give away some prizes with some Elvis trivia.
Ooh.
You know, I'm going to thank people for coming out there, get everyone fired up.
Are you going to go dressed as Elvis?
No, but I did order a new Elvis T-shirt. I'm going to wear.
All right.
So
we had such a great crew when we went and saw that at Barry.
We had the whole row.
Yeah, Lezak.
We had.
Lezak was there.
My dad.
Your dad.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
Did Lebo show up?
No. The Cooch was there.
Cooch.
I mean, we had. I only
a whole front row.
Yeah, I only bought 8 tickets for this one, for the when we went last week. Because then we're going to see it again. Because I wanted to see it before I MC and host this premiere.
So you know what you're talking about.
It's incredible.
So you would see it again?
I'm going to see it like 5 times. But you will appreciate it too, because a lot of it's like rehearsal and just stuff
Yeah,
behind the
I
scenes.
love that stuff.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
I think Lebo's gonna go. Stan Weber's gonna go.
Stan Weber's
Yeah.
going. All right.
He likes Elvis. I think Mike Boddicker mentioned he wants to go. So I would, you know what? I would like you to go.
It's a who's who. Well, I put it on my calendar here. I've got a meeting on Thursday night, but I'll see if I can make it.
I'll meet this.
I would like to go. I'd like to see it. I like
Well,
movies like that.
but you know what? Such a lame excuse. Who the hell has a meeting on Thursday night? That's fine. Built in, I got a meeting on Thursday night. Sure you do.
I have meetings at night,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're the same meetings you go to,
Right.
Nate.
Right. When you say it, yes.
It's the opposite kind of meeting.
When you say it, I get it.
I'm doing the things you're avoiding at my meeting.
I have meetings at 7 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday nights, but I don't think they're the type of meetings you're at, Nate.
No, I think I'm going to a place where it would be the opposite of where you're going to. But we will talk business.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, that was funny.
All right. You want to break here and come back and play a little?
Let's do that.
Play
We'll
some
play
Royals.
Royal sound.
I
after.
got some good Royals sound. I want to listen. I'm fired up for the Royals now. Let's go. I'm talking
spring
myself into
training,
this.
baby.
I'm talking myself into this team being, I want them to add a bat. They're not gonna right now. So
But that bat needs to be Jack.
I'm in the process of talking myself into the way the roster is currently constructed.
I saw you tweeting out Jack Caglione giving out baseball cards.
Oh, do you like that?
Yeah.
That made me happy.
It made me happy. Made me wish I was there.
All right, we will take a break. Back after this on WHB. Welcome back to the show. Chiefs made another move to create salary cap space. They have released defensive end Mike Dana, clearing around $8.9 million in cap space. Helped the Chiefs win 2 Super Bowls. And again, I know nobody cares about this, but it's appreciated by people who are in there covering the team. Didn't matter win or loss, good game, bad game, day game, night game. Always ready to answer questions and talk to the media. With a really, and honestly, over the time I've covered the Chiefs, probably one of the 10 nicest guys that's been on that football team. And we don't talk about that when players are cut normally, because we're just talking about how good they were, how good they weren't, how much money they made, how much money they're saving. But human side of it, super, super nice guy and a really fun guy to cover and an easy guy to root for. So I wish nothing but the best for Mike Dana as he moves on to continue his football career elsewhere. But it's a move that the Chiefs had to make.
Yeah, it's one of the better like squad guys that the Chiefs have had during this era.
It's a good draft pick. Spags fell in love with him because he did everything right, and made some big plays over the years.
Yeah.
Now the Chiefs need to get younger and more explosive. Right?
And they got to find some inexpensive guys that can. And younger is usually more inexpensive, so those kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
Right. You see Todd McShay put his top 50? Oh, Lebo! I wasn't accusing you, but I'm glad you cleared your name. Ted Nguyen, who is a very good follow for football fans from The Athletic. He posted, first night in Indianapolis and saw a middle-aged man in a quarter zip pee his pants and stumble into his hotel. And I just said, Lebonics? And he said, I'm innocent. All right, then, Petro. Which one was it?
Petro's a big quarter zip guy.
Todd Lebo.
I'm not a big quarter zip guy.
There's some NFL media that are getting down there and just getting
after it,
wiped out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the quarter. I'm wearing a quarter zip. I like the quarter zip.
I'm not saying I
think
just
big
not
guys.
my,
I think big guys like it.
I always find them kind of tough to get off and on. Like when I want to pull it off, then it like pulls your undershirt up a little bit. I just like the full zip.
Don't wear nothing underneath, buddy.
Well, so I don't have that kind of bravado that you do.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, I've got a silk V-neck T-shirt that I wear underneath for comfort. Oh, it feels good. Feels good up against my skin. Coming up, we're going to talk to Damon Bethea about college basketball. Andy Rogers live from spring training. Greg Gurley about KU's win over Houston last night. But coming up next at 7 o'clock, we're going to play a couple of clips from the Royals in spring training, and we'll play some Bill Self after the win last night by Kansas over Houston. That sound good? All right.
It sounds good to me.
And as I mentioned, Lebo and Petro are in Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine. So starting today, you'll hear some content coming from them in Indy.
Do you think that they've filled every hole right now?
That's not the content that I was referencing, but
that's the kind of content you'll get.
Right. That's exactly right.
Probing questions from Petro.
That's right. Hopefully not in a quarter zip. We'll be right back after this on WHB.
Pounding me mercilessly every time I'd walk in the building at the same time.